At midnight, everything feels different, right? The world quiets down, shadows stretch longer, and the air gets a little heavier. That's when our story begins, with a guy named Jake. Jake was just a regular guy, living in a typical apartment building, but he had one peculiar habit. He loved to take the elevator at exactly 12 a.m. It became his little ritual, a moment of solitude amidst the chaos of life. But one fateful night, everything changed. As the clock struck 12, Jake stepped into the elevator, his usual tired grin plastered on his face. He pressed the button for the 7th floor, but the elevator lurched, almost as if it was resisting his command. The lights flickered, and the elevator made a strange, grinding noise. Jake felt a shiver run down his spine. Just a glitch, he thought, trying to shrug it off. But then the elevator dinged, and the doors slid open, revealing a hallway that didn't exist. His heart raced. The hallway was dimly lit. The walls were a pale, peeling white, and the air felt thick, almost suffocating. There were no signs, no doors, just an endless corridor that seemed to stretch on forever. Would you step out? Most people would have slammed the button to go back down, but not Jake. Curiosity got the better of him. He took a deep breath and stepped out into the unknown. With each step, he felt like he was crossing into another world. The floor creaked beneath him, and he could hear a faint whisper, like a voice calling from the shadows. Jake! Jake! It sent chills racing down his spine, but he pressed on, drawn by an invisible force. He walked a little further, and suddenly he noticed something strange on the floor. Small, dark stains leading deeper into the hallway. His mind raced with possibilities. Was it paint or something more sinister? His heart hammered as he followed the trail, the whispers growing louder, almost pleading. Help us! Help us! Jake's instincts were screaming at him to turn back, but he couldn't shake the feeling that he was meant to be there. He picked up his pace, and then, out of the shadows, a figure emerged. It was a woman, her hair disheveled, her clothes tattered. She looked at him with wide, haunted eyes. "You shouldn't be here," she warned, her voice shaky. "They're watching." "Who's watching?" Jake asked, his voice barely above a whisper. But before she could answer, the lights flickered violently, and she vanished into thin air. Panic surged through him. He turned to run back to the elevator, but the corridor looked different now. The walls seemed to close in, and the whispers turned into frantic screams. "Jake, you can't leave!" He was trapped. The elevator, his escape route, was nowhere in sight. He darted down the hallway, trying to find a way out. The whispers grew louder, now echoing in his ears, drowning out his thoughts. Suddenly, he spotted a door at the end of the corridor, slightly ajar. With adrenaline coursing through his veins, he rushed towards it, praying it would lead him back to reality. He flung the door open and stumbled inside, only to be met by an empty room. No windows, no exit, just 4 walls closing in on him. He was alone, or so he thought. Behind him, the door slammed shut, trapping him in darkness. The whispers returned, but this time they were clearer, more frantic. "Join us! Join us!" Jake felt his sanity slipping. Was he losing his mind, or had he stumbled into a nightmare from which he couldn't wake? And just like that, the lights flickered again, and he heard that familiar ding. The elevator doors opened, inviting him back. "Would you step in?" Jake stood frozen, caught between two worlds, the elevator or the whispers. The choice was his. But would he ever be the same? As he hesitated in that moment, the line between reality and the unknown blurred, and the darkness beckoned him closer. What would you do?